All right, I'm a little nervous. Wow, this is really happening.
Okay, so this was definitely one of the crazier experiences of my career. But what is this thing, and why am I flying it? Let's rewind a bit to 1903. In Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, the Wright brothers took off in the world's first powered airplane. They called it Flyer. Now, I've come to a secret facility in Lake Las Vegas, the training center for a company appropriately named Kitty Hawk.
What is the mission of Kitty Hawk?
The mission of Kitty Hawk is to get everybody to fly every day and eventually to get rid of traffic. So we want to see a future where traffic is a matter of the past.
That's Kitty Hawk CEO Sebastian Thrun, and what he's basically describing is making the Jetsons' flying cars a reality.
Meet George Jetson!
Now, it's a long step from Flyer to that, honestly. This is a recreational vehicle. It's meant for recreational flight. But in the far distant future, I can see that maybe we take something similar like this and fly into New York and Manhattan.
Flyer is Kitty Hawk's first commercial vehicle. Todd Reichart is the company's lead engineer.
You basically have 12 moving parts.
Okay, what are those moving parts?
10 motors.
Right.
And 2 control sticks. And that's it.
Pretty simple.
While operating it may be simple, incorporating vehicles like this into our everyday commutes, that's going to be a whole lot more complicated. For now, Kitty Hawk's playing it safe. Their engineers wouldn't let me fly faster than 6 miles per hour, and trust me, I wanted to.
Today, we're flying this thing at only like 10 feet off the ground, and we're flying it over a body of water. But what is this baby truly capable of? I mean, you guys are only limiting it to that for safety reasons.
Make no mistake, the fact we are flying 10 feet over the water is a safety feature. You want to make sure that no one gets hurt. Physically, I think it's very conceivable that a vehicle like this might go at some point 50, 60, maybe even 100 miles per hour. We honestly don't know yet.
Even with those limitations, I still had a blast. But once the novelty wears off, what is this thing really for?
What purposes could Flyer serve that a helicopter couldn't?
You, Rachel, were able to fly it after an hour. And I
Very
don't want
true.
to see you in a helicopter after 1 hour.
I definitely don't want to get in the pilot seat of a helicopter after an hour or ever.
And the reason is, in this vehicle, if you let go of the controls, it just stays where it is, which is not true for a helicopter or fixed-wing aircraft.
And I have to say, they made it pretty idiot-proof. I don't have a pilot's license, and I only trained for about an hour.
The goal is to take everything hard out of flying, basically to be able to give people an experience where it's super, super easy to fly.
Right, because flying seems so scary and so complicated.
Flying for the last century has been incredibly complicated, and it takes a long time to learn. This is transformational in terms of how accessible we can make flight.
But in order for it to be truly transformational, people have to be willing to fly them.
When most people think about flying cars, they're actually pretty scared and also very intrigued.
The number one most important thing other than safety for us is societal acceptance. Will people be willing to fly on these devices, live next to a device like this that flies in your neighborhood and so on? And that's the reason why we opened this training center here in Lake Las Vegas. We're here to learn from you, to see your reaction, to see not just do you like flying it, but also would you be bothered if your next door neighbor flew something like this?
But public acceptance is just one hurdle. Flyer's battery only lasts about 20 minutes, so for now, its applications are limited.
Kitty Hawk's mission is
Yeah.
to eradicate traffic. You
Yeah.
can't do that with a recreational vehicle.
We're on sort of a story arc from recreation to exploration to transportation. And we will have to evolve along the way.
That was awesome. I did it. I did it.
Went out one night to make a little round. I met little Sadie and I shot her down. Went back home, jumped into bed, 44 pistol under my head. I woke up in the morning about 9:30. The hacks and the buggy standing in line. Gents and gamblers standing around, taking little Sadie to bed. I began to think the way to that town. I grabbed my hand and I moved right. Made up the moon just a little too soon. They overtook me in Jericho.
I hate these things.
Tell me about it.
Your old man really laid into me today.
What happened?
Another big lecture about my patrols. Don't go here, don't go there. It's funny how involved he gets whenever you're scheduled to go out.
Yeah.
She's putting on quite the show.
I give you guys 2 weeks until you're back together.
Not gonna happen. She, say something to you?
Make it 1 week.
Ellie! Hey! What took you so long?
Oh, I'm here, aren't I?
Dina?
Jesse.
Hey, don't forget we leave at first light, so get some rest.
Yes, sir. You're such a dick. Come on. Why don't you start with me? Okay, I have a very serious question for you. How bad do I smell?
Like a hot pile of garbage?
Oh, okay. Oh, how about that?
Gross.
You love it.
Every guy in this room is staring at you right now.
Maybe they're staring at you.
Or not.
Maybe they're jealous of you.
I'm just a girl, not a threat.
Oh, Ellie. I think they should be terrified of you.
They are nasty with sin. What is breathing? Oh shit! No! No!
Jesus.
Spread out.
After months of testing a self-driving electric Chevy Bolt in San Francisco, General Motors is now taking the wraps off of that project and giving some journalists, including myself, a chance to go for a ride in this self-driving vehicle. Why is this important? Because General Motors is involved in a race with Waymo, with other automakers, to take self-driving cars from the test phase to the deployment, where the public will actually be riding in these vehicles. And GM believes testing in San Francisco gives them a distinct advantage.
Well, it's so important because our vehicles see more and learn more in this kind of environment. So we have a test fleet here in San Francisco. We also have a test fleet that's operating in Scottsdale in Arizona. So we have a very good A/B comparison between those two locations. And as a simple rule of thumb, our cars here will see more in 1 minute in San Francisco than they will see in 1 hour of driving in Scottsdale. So I think that gives you a sense for the exponentially greater level of complexity that we're taking on in this environment.
There is a specific reason that Dan Ammon referenced testing self-driving vehicles in Arizona, because that's where Waymo plans to launch its first self-driving ride-hailing service on a limited basis in the months to come. General Motors also probably will be launching its own ride-hailing service. As you take a look at shares of General Motors, keep in mind that tomorrow, Mary Barra, CEO for General Motors, will outline the company's autonomous drive strategy. Guys, it'll be interesting to see how quickly GM can get this up from the test phase to deployment. But we had a chance to go for the ride yesterday. It handled all of the trickiness that can come along with a self-driving vehicle maneuvering through the streets of San Francisco. We'll have more on this over the next couple of days as well. Back to you.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.
The deserts of northwest India. One of the most challenging environments on the planet. Tracks are often the only clue to life. Here, survival demands resilience, strength, and adaptation. This is Marastali, India's region of death. The Asiatic lion. Power and courage make this animal, not the tiger, India's national emblem. These are the formidable beasts that once ranged across the lands of the Bible, that fought Samson and devoured Christians in Roman arenas. Now they're only found in these parched scrub forests. This pride consists of 6 lions, 3 adult females, 2 8-month-old cubs, and their 1.5-year-old sister. The oldest lioness rules. Asiatic lion prides are far smaller than their African cousins, reflecting the smaller prey they hunt. The cubs are thin and constantly hungry. They try to suckle from their mother, the matriarch of the pride. But her milk has dried up. With the best hunter injured, the responsibility to feed the pride now falls on the less experienced younger females. Life in these deserts knows nothing of gentleness or ease. The lionesses need to make a kill. Asiatic lions once numbered in thousands and ranged from India to the Mediterranean. They now cling to existence in this, their last refuge. India's deserts form part of the barren region that stretches 11,000 kilometers from Africa in the west to China in the east. They dominate the states of Gujarat and Rajasthan. A land of unrelenting heat. Punishing dryness. Driving winds sandblast everything in their path.